hi everyone. A question. Have you ever done those Where's Wally books? I don't know if you've had children now, they're still being used. They certainly were in my son's time. And we used to pore over these books, a picture full of people looking for this chap called Wally. I could never find the blighter. He was there somewhere and you had to look up the answer, but you could look and look and look and you couldn't find Wally. Reading a little bit more through the Gospels, I thought of Wally when I read about Thomas. Where's Thomas? It is a mystery. In that first meeting of Jesus in the upper room on the Sunday evening, it transpires that Thomas wasn't there. And indeed, it's a whole week before he rolls up. If you look carefully, it's a week later that Jesus appears to him. Where's he been? What's he been doing? We actually don't know. There is no hint given anywhere. But we can perhaps speculate. Because again, we can put ourselves in Thomas's position. Perhaps he was afraid, even more afraid than the others, and he'd done a runner. He'd gone further than the others in his fear, and he couldn't get back so easily, or he was still afraid to go into Jerusalem. Perhaps, a little strangely, he had hope. It's said in football matches that you can stand anything but hope. If you're losing 5-0, there's no hope and you can relax. But if you're only 1-0 down and there's a few chances, it starts to get a little bit difficult and hope rises in your breast and you don't want to look. And perhaps Thomas had heard some rumours and he didn't dare hope, and so he wouldn't come back. Perhaps more banally, there were simply family concerns. Maybe his wife or children or mother or father were sick and he just couldn't come for some reason. Or maybe he had some kind of work which meant he couldn't come. Or maybe he was arrested. He actually couldn't get out, or there was a warrant for his arrest, that he was in a worse situation than the rest. The simple answer is we don't know, and we can speculate until we're blue in the face. But it led me to think of what keeps us from Jesus. Something kept Thomas from Jesus. What keeps us from Jesus? Could it be fear? Could it be that he will find something out about us that we don't want to be found? Could it be that we have, like this idea of hope, odd contradictory emotions that keep us from Jesus? There's no need to worry about that because he knows it all already. He is well aware of what's going on. Or maybe it's personal things. He is higher and he is still in the midst, even if we are struggling at work or struggling with the family. But he still needs a bit of time. We need to spend time with him, even in those very time-consuming, emotionally difficult moments. In fact, particularly then. Or perhaps we're under really serious personal pressure. It's unlikely in this country that we're in fear of arrest, at least not for good reasons. But there may be other things like severe illness or just being emotionally broken. A time when we just can't do it anymore. He is still there. He is still there with you. His presence does not depend on us doing anything. But this is the kind of time when we need our brothers and sisters to be there for us. And this is the kind of time when, if we were kept away before, we maybe don't have the relationships, people don't know us. We need to, in the good times, build our place in his church with his disciples so that we are part of the group, so that we can support one another. Well, wherever Thomas was and wherever you are, the bottom line is, come to Jesus, because he is the way, the truth and the life. Father God, help us to carve out that time to be with Jesus. Amen.